Scroll the Wind Boy, a story of shadows and justice. They called him the Wind Boy, not because he was fast, but because no one could catch him. He lived with his father, the only family he had. As a child, he was known for his mischievous ways, stealing small items from neighbors, sneaking into homes, and vanishing into thin air. Villagers would come to complain, but his father would always laugh it off. He's just a boy. These are childhood habits, nothing serious. Years passed, and so did his father. But what the village assumed would end with the old man's death only got worse. Now a grown man, the boy's thievery evolved into a terrifying form. His victims began to whisper, he disappears into tall grass like mist, he slips through your hands like oil, he walks in and out of your homes like a spirit. Mama Amina lost a huge male goat. Witnesses saw him take it. When her husband tried to grab him, he slid away like a wet fish. His whole body was slippery, as if he'd bathed in coconut oil. Another day, in Mama Motomo's small restaurant, he sat like a normal customer and ordered food. She served him a large plate, unaware of what was coming. When he finished eating, he pulled out an old, worn-out note and gave it to her. She smiled politely, took the note, and walked to her savings drawer to fetch his change. But something strange happened. As she opened it, the drawer was empty. Every coin, every bill, gone. Even the note he gave her had vanished like dust. A customer waiting for his own change grew suspicious. The moment he shouted, others checked their pockets, more people had been robbed. But no one had seen the moment it happened. That was the day the villagers realized. Even spirits can steal. Enough was enough. Fear turned to fury. The village of Military, Quail County, rose in unison. One crisp morning, the villagers gathered silently in front of his house, armed with pongas, sticks, spears, whatever they could find. And by sheer luck, the Wind Boy walked out of the toilet, yawning, scratching his head, unaware of what awaited him. Today is his judgment day, someone shouted. A chaotic, brutal beating followed. The dust rose with every blow. His house was set ablaze. His screams filled the village until silence returned. They were sure he was gone. Burned. Dead. Finally. But evil rarely dies that easily. 3 days later. As women fetched water at the well before dawn, something froze their bones. There, under the misty light, stood the same boy, skin burnt, clothes tattered, but his eyes, blood red. Women screamed and fled. One girl named Tife fell, paralyzed with fear. Please forgive me, please. But he didn't speak. He attacked her, violated her, and disappeared once again, this time leaving not just fear, but pain. And a mark. Tifo limped home in tears. Her grandfather, Mzitimemo, sat weaving mats under the mango tree. He froze when he saw her. My only grandchild, he whispered. The daughter of my only daughter who died in a road accident. Something in him broke. That night, without a word, Mzitimemo left his home and walked toward the forbidden forest, a place whispered in old tales. The forest that housed the ancient spirit, the one summoned only when the village was at its darkest hour. He reached a silent pond at the heart of the woods. The water was still. The air heavy. He remembered the legend. Find the 3 stones, throw them at the triangle corners of the pond, then speak. He did as told. Suddenly, a deep voice echoed from the water. "Speak your troubles, old man." Mzitimomo dropped to his knees and cried. "My village is cursed. A boy we killed returned from the dead. My granddaughter is bearing his child. We are haunted. Help us, please." The spirit answered. The solution is simple but dangerous. To defeat the wind boy, your men must face him at dawn, wearing their shirts inside out. Their bodies must be covered in pig fat, though their religion forbids it. None must eat the night before. If they follow this, he will die. But listen, old man. Your granddaughter's child carries his blood. And do not return here again for 10 years. The voice vanished. Mzitimomo stood in silence. He returned and shared the plan. At first, the village hesitated, pig fat. No food. But the pain and fear were too much. They obeyed. That morning, women fetched water like usual, while men crept behind, dressed inside out and glistening in forbidden oil. The wind boy returned, standing smugly near the road, as he always did. But today, no one screamed. Women turned and lured him into a circle. He smiled. "You fools. I cannot die." But then, he smelled it. Pig fat. His face changed. Panic. He turned to run, but every path was blocked. A club struck his leg. He limped toward the grass to vanish again, but the grass didn't help. His powers failed him. "Today, we end this," someone yelled. And just like that, pain, rage, and revenge poured down on him. The wind boy screamed. But this time, no one pitied him. No escape. Only blood, dust, and silence. He was gone. Peace returned. The village slowly healed. People laughed again. Shops reopened. Women fetched water without fear. But one night, under the old mango tree, Mzitimomo sat with his head down. Tifa was pregnant. And not just with any child, but the child of a thief, a witch, a ghost. They will find out one day, he whispered to himself. This peace may not last forever. He stared into the darkness. Because sometimes, what dies, leaves something behind. Something worse. The end. What do you learn from the story above?